Chosen one, what I'm about to share with you is urgent and life-changing. If you're watching this right now, it's not by accident. Just 1 minute ago, God spoke, and his message is meant for you. The silence has been broken by a divine announcement. So powerful, it will shift everything in your life. You are no longer in the waiting phase. You are moving from wanting to have. The blessings, the breakthroughs, and the miracles you've been praying for, they're already on their way to you. This is not just a mental shift. This is a full-blown spiritual awakening. An energetic transformation is unfolding in real-time, one like you've never experienced before. As a chosen one, you're about to witness things falling into place with astonishing speed. Doors will open, paths will clear, your life will rise to a whole new level of success, health, joy, and divine purpose. But here's the key. You must align yourself with God's timing and his instructions to unlock the full magnitude of your power. Before we dive deeper into this revelation, pause this video and do 3 things right now. Smash that like button to send a wave of agreement through the universe. Subscribe to our channel. Help us reach 1,000 chosen ones ready to embrace this divine shift. Comment with the number 99. It's a powerful signal, amplifying your spiritual connection and anchoring this message in your reality. If you're truly a chosen one, you'll stay with this message until the very end, because deep inside, your spirit already recognizes this moment. If you're not ready, you may walk away. But if you continue watching, prepare for your life to never be the same again. Just 1 minute ago, a profound and urgent message echoed from heaven. God himself has spoken directly and unmistakably to the chosen ones around the world. This isn't just another whisper in the dark. It's a divine declaration that pierces through the noise, commanding your attention and awakening your soul. Imagine this: the creator of the universe breaking his silence to give you clear, sacred instructions. Why? Because you are not ordinary. You are chosen. You are destined for greatness beyond your current understanding. For too long, the voices of fear, doubt, and distraction have clouded your path. But now, that silence is shattered. God is calling you to listen, not just with your ears, but with your spirit. This is a moment of divine transformation, a turning point, a crossroads between the lives you've settled for and the life you were created for. The question is, will you hear this sacred call and rise to meet it? Or will you let it pass unnoticed, lost in the noise of a distracted world? Make no mistake, this is not exaggeration. Every second is sacred. Every heartbeat is a decision. The universe is watching. Heaven is waiting. Your destiny is calling. Are you ready to rise? Because the battle is real and it's intensifying. You are under siege, not just in the spiritual realm, but in your physical reality. Attacks are coming against your health, your wealth, your relationships, and your purpose. This is not a coincidence. This is a coordinated assault by dark forces desperate to derail your divine mission. You may have noticed it: sudden exhaustion, unexplained setbacks, or hardships appearing all at once. This is spiritual warfare with very real consequences. Look around. Stories of chosen ones falling ill, losing their jobs, or facing breakdowns in their closest relationships are everywhere. In the news, in your community, even in your own life. These aren't isolated incidents. This is a global strategy. The enemy is using every weapon at its disposal: fear, deception, financial instability, emotional chaos. Why? To weaken your resolve, cloud your vision, and steal your joy. But you must remember one thing: these forces have no power over the light that burns within you. Understanding that these attacks are systematic and worldwide is the first step toward reclaiming your strength. You are not alone in this. Across cities, nations, and continents, your spiritual brothers and sisters are enduring the same battles. Together, we form a resilient spiritual army, unshakable, united, and rising. Feeling overwhelmed or drained does not mean you are weak. In fact, it's the opposite. These challenges are evidence that you are a critical player in this sacred conflict. The enemy doesn't waste time on those who don't. You're under attack because your light threatens to dismantle darkness. Your rise challenges the status quo. Think of a mighty oak tree caught in a storm. The wind may strip away its leaves and bend its branches, but its roots grow deeper, its trunk stronger, its reach greater. This is your spiritual storm, a test of your endurance, your faith, and your purpose. Every moment of struggle is molding you into a force that cannot be broken. You are stronger than you think, forged in adversity to become unstoppable. This battle demands more than survival, it demands clarity, purpose, and spiritual courage. You must look past the pain and confusion and understand there is a divine design at work. Your endurance is not a coincidence, it is proof of your calling. Even the longest night is always followed by the light of dawn. Once fully awakened, your spiritual power will outshine every attack launched against you. Now is the time to rise. Abandon the mundane. Let go of the distractions and routines that drain your spirit. God's message is clear. Stop wasting your energy on what is ordinary. You were never meant to live a life boxed in by societal expectations. You were not created to chase shallow goals or serve agendas that ignore your divine. Imagine a bird trapped in a cage, fluttering wildly as it longs for open skies. That is your soul when you invest in temporary earthly pursuits. It longs for more freedom, for impact, for the divine mission it was born to fulfill. God is calling you into a life of purpose, one that transcends the material and awakens your eternal mission. He is inviting you to step out of the cage of routine and limitation and embrace a divine assignment that will not only transform your life, but impact the lives of countless others. Your calling is not generic, it is unique, it is urgent, and every moment spent on distractions is a moment lost from fulfilling the sacred task God has assigned to you and only you. This is your moment to break free, to say no to the noise of the world, and yes to the extraordinary plan heaven has designed specifically for you. The world is waiting for your light to shine. Don't hide it any longer. This message is not vague or symbolic. It comes with a divine mandate. God has entrusted you with a mission that is time-sensitive and irreplaceable. The urgency isn't meant to stir fear, it's meant to ignite your passion and focus. Your divine assignment is the key to unlocking miraculous breakthroughs, not just for you, but for everyone connected to your destiny. Picture a relay race. The baton has just been passed to you. This is the critical leg of the journey, and everything depends on your speed, your resolve, and your faith. Hesitation could cost more than personal blessing. It could cost generations their healing, their breakthroughs, and their purpose. God's task for you is specific. Your obedience will determine your rise into full spiritual power. This is not a season for comfort. It's a call to action, a path that demands courage, sacrifice, and unwavering dedication. But with each obedient step you take, you are not alone. Angels walk with you. Divine support surrounds you. Your spiritual vision sharpens with every act of faith. Fulfilling this task is your destiny, and in doing so, you will unlock blessings that go far beyond your imagination. It all begins now with the activation of your spiritual eyes. Within the next 3 days, a powerful awakening is set in motion. This is not symbolic. It is a real and supernatural shift that will allow you to perceive what exists beyond the physical world. When your spiritual eyes open, you will gain vision that cuts through lies, deception, and confusion. These next 3 days are sacred. Use them with intentional focus. Spend time in deep prayer, meditation, fasting, and reflection. Pay attention to subtle shifts in energy, divine signs, symbolic patterns, and the inner stirrings of your soul. You may already sense it, the flicker of new vision ready to ignite into a flame. When this shift occurs, it will be undeniable. You'll begin to see what you once missed. Illusions will crumble. Deception will lose its grip. You'll understand things with supernatural clarity. This isn't just for protection. This clarity will light your path forward. It will reveal hidden forces at work and how to defeat them with spiritual precision. trust this process. Your obedience in this awakening is the gateway to your true power. Once your spiritual eyes are activated, you will no longer be confined by what your natural eyes perceive. This divine sight pierces veils of darkness. It exposes hidden danger, and most importantly, it reveals the path God has prepared for you. It's like gaining access to a higher realm, and once you enter it, everything changes. You are being called to rise into a dimensional perspective where truth and clarity reign supreme. This elevated vision will become your greatest weapon. It will empower you to detect spiritual attacks before they manifest in your material world. You'll begin to notice the subtle signs, the whispers of manipulation, the quiet lies of deceit, and the creeping presence of negativity that once passed by unnoticed. This divine awareness is both shield and sword. It will protect your soul while sharpening your decisions. Imagine walking through life with a light so bright, darkness has no place to hide. Your every choice will be guided by clarity, freeing you from the chains of confusion, fear, and doubt. This is your birthright, to see beyond illusion and to act in full alignment with God's plan. But in these turbulent times, your material resources are also under siege. One of the most powerful protections God has revealed is invest in silver and gold. These precious metals have served as divine safeguards across generations, safe havens during war, collapse, and when others lost everything, those who held gold and silver preserved, even prospered. This isn't just financial advice. This is spiritual strategy. Your wealth, entrusted to you by God, must be shielded from forces seeking to steal, corrupt, or devalue it. Even if you can't shift all your assets now, begin small. Place silver coins, gold pieces, however modest, where they can serve as anchors of spiritual and financial protection. It's a simple act, but a bold declaration. My wealth is sacred, and I will not allow it to be stolen. Financial security is not just a number in a bank account, it is a spiritual battlefield. Dark forces use envy, deception, and manipulation to target your abundance. That's why your protection must be both practical and divine. Invest wisely, avoid suspicious ventures, surround yourself with advisors of integrity, and just as importantly, engage in daily prayers and affirmations for financial shielding. Declare over your wealth. It is guarded, it is guided, and it is growing under divine favor. Sometimes financial losses are symptoms of deeper spiritual wounds, vulnerabilities that must be healed. When you begin to understand money as a tool for your divine mission, everything changes. It's no longer about accumulation, it's about stewardship. When you protect your finances, you protect the resources meant to fulfill your purpose, serve your calling, and bless others. That's how you create a ripple of divine abundance that multiplies far beyond. And when betrayal, hurt, or injustice touches your life, how do you respond? Your instinct might be retaliation, coldness, emotional withdrawal, but God calls for something radical. Respond with love, with kindness, with unwavering ethical integrity, even when you've been wronged deeply. This is not weakness. This is divine strength in its highest form. True strength is not measured by force or retaliation, but by spiritual discipline. Responding with love, even when provoked, is the highest forming of strength a chosen one can embody. It breaks the vicious cycles of negativity, bitterness, and spiritual curses that feed on anger and revenge. When you choose compassion over conflict, you disarm your enemies and preserve the divine protection that surrounds your life. Imagine the power of answering hostility with grace. Turning a potential battle into a moment of peace is a revolutionary act, not just for others, but for your soul. It heals, it elevates, it transforms. History remembers those who lived this way, leaders and saints who, despite immense opposition, chose love and built legacies of peace. You can do the same. This is how you truly win, by refusing to fight darkness with more darkness. No chosen one is meant to walk this path alone. God's instruction is clear. Seek your spiritual tribe. Find the warriors who share your values, your faith, and your divine purpose. When you connect with others walking the same path, you build a fortress of strength that no attack can penetrate. Look around in your workplace, your neighborhood, and your online circles. Identify those who radiate light. People grounded in purpose, anchored in truth. Reach out, build authentic bonds. Together, you form a spiritual network stronger than any single effort. In this unity, you gain protection, encouragement, shared wisdom, and divine momentum. When chosen ones stand united in love and purpose, God's power flows more strongly among them. Spiritual isolation is vulnerability, but collective faith, that's unbreakable. In these turbulent times, relying on manifestation, techniques, or surface-level positivity is not enough and can even be dangerous. Negative spiritual energy is intensifying. It interferes with those methods and renders them ineffective without divine alignment. God warned, only through direct connection with Him can true breakthroughs occur. While manifestation may offer temporary hope, it can lead to delays, distractions, or spiritual confusion. Divine power, on the other hand, is a living force. It opens doors no man can shut. It moves mountains, rewrites destinies, and clears confusion with supernatural clarity. The key: surrender. Deepen your prayer life. Listen intently for God's voice. Follow His instructions without compromise. When your actions are aligned with His will, transformation becomes inevitable and eternal. Purity of heart and action is essential in this sacred season. God commands you to reject sin, even when it's disguised as loyalty to friends, family, or loved ones. These tests are difficult, but they are crucial. Your spiritual integrity must be guarded like treasure. Compromising your values, even with good intentions, weakens your protection and invites darkness into your life. Imagine a warrior wielding a sword with a cracked blade. It may look strong, but under pressure, it will fail. The same is true for your spirit. Holiness strengthens your spiritual armor. Integrity sharpens your discernment. Faithfulness ensures divine favor. This is not the time to bend. This is the time to stand tall. You were not chosen to conform, you were chosen to lead. And leadership in the kingdom of God begins with obedience, clarity, and uncompromised. In battle, your purity is your sword. It must remain sharp and unblemished, capable of cutting through spiritual deception, resisting temptation, and leading with righteousness. This isn't just about personal virtue, it's about divine power. Every relationship, every situation you face is part of this. Your discipline in avoiding sin becomes a radiant beacon, a living testimony to those around. God is calling you to be a standard bearer of holiness in a world starving for genuine love and truth. Everything you're going through right now is part of a divine test. Your faith is being strengthened. Your love is being challenged. Your discipline is being... But this is not a test designed to break you. It's one meant to build you, to mold you into the leader God destined you to become, a beacon of hope, resilience, and grace. Tests reveal true character. They separate those who merely believe from those who live their faith with conviction. This is your moment to prove your loyalty, to show the heavens and the earth that no attack, no temptation, no hardship can pull you away from God's. The way you respond now will echo through eternity. Remember the stories of spiritual heroes. They faced trials, more brutal than yours, and still emerged victorious. Their secret: steadfast faith, unconditional love, unwavering discipline. This moment is your invitation to walk the same path, to rise above the noise, the pressure, the attacks, and step into your legacy. The world's voice is loud. It tempts you to conform, to seek approval, to chase comfort. But God's call is different. It demands courage, conviction, and commitment to a higher purpose. And the time to choose is now. Will you follow fleeting trends or eternal truth? Will you live for what's temporary or for what's divine? Your rise is already in motion. By choosing God over the world, you align with a power that transcends all opposition. The road may not be easy, but it will be paved with divine protection, favor, and breakthrough after breakthrough. This is your destiny to step into your calling as a leader, healer, and light in the darkness. Stand firm. Follow God's instructions without hesitation. Let your life become a living testimony of faith, perseverance, and spirituality. Even now, in a world drowning in noise, chaos, and uncertainty, God's voice has pierced, crystal clear, urgent, purposeful. This moment you're living in is not random. It is a divine interruption, God grabbing your attention, shaking you awake and calling you back. Think of a lighthouse in the middle of a violent. Its beam slices through fog, guiding ships to saving. That is what God's voice is right now, an unshakable light in the midst of chaos. If you're feeling lost, confused, or overwhelmed, take this message as your lifeline. This is the moment. The voice here, it's calling you home to your destiny, your truth, and a reality far greater than your struggle. Reject the temptation for it. This is more message. This is your divine wake-up call. Do not dismiss this message as coincidence or random timing. Divine timing is always perfect and intentional. God is reaching out not to everyone, but to the chosen few who are truly ready to listen, to rise, and to break free from the noise and confusion of this world. If you're hearing this now, it's because you are one of them. This breakthrough is not just a message, it is your key to unlocking divine purpose in this critical season of your life. When God's voice breaks through, everything changes. This is your moment to realign your heart, sharpen your focus, and prepare to take action. The chaos swirling around you is temporary, but your obedience in this moment carries eternal weight. You are not just facing random hardships, you are under spiritual siege. There is a coordinated, calculated assault being waged against you spiritually, emotionally, physically, financially. The enemy knows your value. He sees your potential. That's why you're being targeted with such intensity. Every setback, every hardship, every attack, it's all part of a global campaign to dismantle your destiny and dim the light you carry. Think of it like a game of chess. Every move against you is strategic, designed to trap you, distract you, and eventually take you out. But this is not a game you can afford to play passively. The enemy's tactics are layered: deception, fear, confusion, and subtle distractions, all working to pull you off course. You may feel isolated, but you are not alone. This battle spans across continents, cultures, and communities. Thousands of chosen ones are fighting the same war, standing firm, holding the line. Understanding the strategy behind the attacks gives you power. You are not a victim, you are a warrior. And awareness is your greatest weapon. Now is the time to connect with your spiritual allies. Share insights, build strength, support one another. This is a global resistance, and united, the chosen ones form an unstoppable force that no darkness can conquer. Every moment you hesitate is a moment lost in the battle for your destiny. Delays in following God's instructions are not harmless. They are dangerous. The spiritual enemy thrives on procrastination. It uses your hesitation to exploit your vulnerabilities, deepen your confusion, and escalate attacks on your life and mission. Obedience is not optional. It is your lifeline. Imagine a firefighter arriving late to a burning building. That delay could cost lives. In the same way, your delay in obeying divine instruction allows fires of fear, doubt, and distraction to grow unchecked. God's commands are not burdens, they are shields. Every instruction is a line of defense, a step toward your breakthrough. Obedience is the highest form of trust. It is faith in motion. When you act without delay, you prove you are ready not just to receive, but to carry the responsibility of your call. Ignoring or postponing these divine instructions doesn't just jeopardize your progress, it threatens your spiritual safety. This is not the time to wait. This is the time to move immediately, boldly, with urgency and unshakable Faith, God is speaking. The path has been made clear. Now the decision is yours. Will you act? God is not calling you to gradual progress. He is calling you to decisive, immediate obedience. Your rise depends on it. Forget everything you've heard in motivational talks or polished speeches. What you're receiving right now is far beyond inspiration. This is a divine emergency broadcast straight from the heart of God. It carries the weight of eternal consequences and the urgency of a life or death spiritual situation. Think of it like an evacuation order issued just before a natural disaster. Ignoring it could cost you everything. This is not a gentle nudge, it's a wake-up. God is telling you to drop the complacency, silence the doubt, shake off the distractions, and fully engage in the battle for your soul, your purpose, and your legacy. The stakes have never been higher. This message isn't here to make you feel good. It's meant to cut through noise, false hope, and spiritual laziness. It demands your full attention, your immediate action, and your unwavering commitment. This is not the time for half measures or delayed responses. Hear this clearly. Your obedience right now could mean the difference between victory and defeat. This is your moment of reckoning, your call to courage, your divine invitation to rise as never before. And when everything in your life feels like it's unraveling, your health declining, your finances slipping, your relationships breaking, don't be fooled. These are not signs of rejection or punishment from God. These are strategic setups designed by the enemy to derail your progress, distract your focus, and destroy your sit. But God's plan for you is not chaos. It's abundance, joy, victory. The setbacks you face are snares, laid by a cunning adversary hoping to confuse and entangle you. Think of a skilled hunter setting traps, each one designed to rob you. But you are not defenseless. You have the power to rise above these traps through spiritual discernment and unshakable faith. Remember, betrayed, imprisoned, and yet every hardship rid him. Remember David before the crown came the battlefield. Before the throne came the giant. Their trials weren't divine punishment, they were preparation. Your hardships can serve the same purpose. They are not the end. They are the sharpening of your strength and the unveiling of you. But many among the chosen still walk blind to the spiritual war raging around them, blind to the unseen forces shaping their lives. And this blindness, this inability to see clearly, is what makes them vulnerable to deception, confusion, and healing. Your spiritual vision is not null. It is it. You're navigating life like someone wandering through a dangerous city with their eyes closed. Every step becomes risky, every decision. But when your spiritual open, everything changes. You begin to see the enemy's traps before you see them. You discern divine opportunities others miss. You walk with clarity, confidence, and wholeness. So today, act with ease. Obey without hesitation. You are not meant to humble. You are called to soar, to truly see beyond the physical world and perceive God's truth clearly. Your spiritual vision must be healed. This healing is not automatic. It requires intentionality. Through prayer, meditation, fasting, and a relentless commitment to purity and truth, your eyes will begin to open. This means rejecting every lie, renouncing deception, and fully embracing the revelations God is pouring into your life. When your vision is restored, everything changes. You'll sense spiritual attacks before they strike. You'll recognize divine opportunities before they pass. You'll walk with boldness, confidence, and clarity, knowing you are in sync with your God-ordained path. Do not allow spiritual blindness to rob you of your destiny. Commit today to the healing process and watch as your eyes open to the breathtaking reality God has prepared for you. In this intense spiritual season, God is drawing a line in the sand. A clear divide is emerging between those who truly walk the path and those who merely wear the label of chosen without living the life. This separation is not cruel, it's necessary. It strengthens the faithful, protects the mission, and exposes hidden deception within the ranks. Think of it like a refinery, purifying gold fire. and pressure burn away the false, leaving only the pure. God's refining process is doing exactly that, separating true warriors from those weakened by complacency, compromise, or illusion. This is no time for half-hearted faith or spiritual ritual without substance. Ask yourself honestly, where do you stand? Are you walking in full obedience, love, and discipline, or have you settled for comfort and surface-level spirituality? This moment demands courageous self-examination. Your choice today determines your place in God's unfolding plan. Stand firm, embrace your calling. Join the ranks of the genuine, the ones who will inherit divine breakthrough, favor, and the eternal blessings God has promised. As a chosen one, you no longer live under the natural laws of society, culture, or human expectations. You are governed by divine law. This spiritual promotion is profound. It is liberating, yes, but it also demands radical obedience and unwavering faith. Think of a soldier promoted to a special forces unit. The old rules no longer apply because the mission is different. The expectations are higher, the responsibility is greater. Divine law prioritizes spiritual alignment, ethical integrity, and total trust in God's direction over logic, convenience, or cultural trends. You will often need to act counter-cultural, to choose love when others choose hate, faith when others live in fear, righteousness when compromise seems easier. It won't always be easy, but it will always be worth it. This is the path to true power, freedom, and impact. Embrace your higher reality. Your rise depends on it. Step fully under divine law. Let go of worldly limitations and walk boldly into your God-ordained destiny. And remember, God's protection is real, powerful, unshakable. But it is conditional. It is part of a covenant, not a casual promise. If you want the shield, you must follow the instructions. Imagine a mighty fortress. Its walls can protect only if the gates remain closed and guarded. Obedience keeps the gates shut. Disobedience leaves them wide open. The soldiers of light must remain vigilant. Disobedience or spiritual neglect leaves the gates wide open to enemy infiltration. God's instructions are those gates meant to guard your mind, body, spirit, and destiny. When you follow His commands diligently, you remain under divine protection. But when you ignore them, you expose yourself to unseen attacks. This conditional protection is not a restriction, it's an invitation, a divine partnership, a covenant that proves just how much God values your cooperation and commitment. He's asking, will you trust and obey even when it's hard, even when it costs you comfort or certainty? These divine instructions are not suggestions, they are your lifeline, your spiritual armor, your blueprint for victory. The future God has planned. For you depend on how seriously you honor this covenant. Your obedience activates divine defense and unlocks supernatural breakthroughs. Understand this. Your financial blessings are not just material, they are spiritual targets. Negative forces are monitoring your prosperity. Your wealth is being tracked, manipulated, and attacked in ways you may not always see. But you feel the effects: delays, unexpected losses, financial stress. This is not just economics, it's spiritual warfare. Think of your wealth as a treasure map, a direct route to your divine purpose. The enemy knows it. He wants to steal it, sabotage it, and use your lack as a weapon to stop you from fulfilling your mission. Ignoring this reality is like leaving your door wide open in a dangerous neighborhood. That's why God's instruction to invest in gold and silver is more than financial wisdom, it's spiritual strategy. These precious metals are not bound by economic manipulation. They create a form of divine security that ordinary currency cannot. They serve as both spiritual and practical safety. Pray over your finances. Ask for divine insight before making financial moves. Build spiritual protection around your resources. Speak blessings over your wealth. Your prosperity is not a luxury, it is essential to fulfilling your purpose. And in these turbulent times, isolation is your greatest. The chosen ones were never meant to fight alone. A new spiritual network must rise strong, united, and deeply good. This isn't just about finding people who think like you. It's about forming a spiritual alliance that will resist every attack and advance the divine mission with unstoppable. Look at the early apostles. They didn't just preach, they banded together in brotherhood. Their strength wasn't just in numbers, but in shared purpose and spiritual unity. Together they changed the world. Today you are called to dream. Seek out others who carry the same divine arc. You'll find them in your communities, your workplaces, and even online. Build relationships founded on truth, love, discipline, and mutual support. Because when chosen ones unite, their spiritual power multiplies. Together, they form a protective shield, a divine force field that no darkness creates. And from unity, miracles are launched, destinies are fulfilled, and heaven moves on earth.